been using the system for several months, but even in this short time, I have noticed tremendous difference. My mental focus has become so much better. I feel much more energetic and confident and have more self-belief to pursue what is truly destined for me. I really like this about Eductor, that they consider a human body, human being, a sort of like system. It's very similar to systems engineering approach, where the system looks at you in a very, very systematic way, and considers you with all the factors in its complexity, and addresses the issues in its complexity, not just one issue at a time, but everything that may have to do with the problem. I believe that Eductor has a very unique approach to catching issues before they manifest in a major disease. And what I really love about the system is that it brings to the surface a lot of underlying causes of illnesses on many different levels. Eductor's reports have been extremely helpful, and I really like the fact that they quantify the problem, and you can also see the progress in terms of the numbers, and it's so much easier to relate to. It's not some abstract or some obscure idea. It's expressed in graphs and charts and numbers, and I really like it. It's very objective. Because conventional medicine is not testing for multiple stressors that impact health in so many different ways, it was a huge discovery for me, and I wish general practitioners, primary care docs use this in their daily practice, because it would be so much easier for them to identify potential problems, and it would be so much more beneficial for their patients to see that. I feel like my life has started shifting in a very good direction, and I feel much more energetic to fulfill my purpose. I feel much more energetic to pursue my dreams. I have more stamina, I have more awareness, and I can see real results. And again, I can compare that to making small deposits on a weekly or monthly basis, leading to a huge gain, especially in the future. And for instance, I can tell that my relationships at work, which can be very, very, very stressful environment, oftentimes have shifted, and I have built so much more strength and resilience and stamina to deal with circumstances that I cannot control. And it's been a very good experience. I feel like I've been healing and repairing myself and becoming a better person on so many different levels, physically, health-wise, emotionally, psychologically. I can really, get on with my life and be my best self.
We've been using the Eductor for many, many months now, and we love it. It gives us a very accurate overview of the homotoxicology, or the toxins that are affecting our patients. It also elucidates for our patients what they're up against, because that's often not very understood. The test itself, with all this information, whoa, how long does this take? That's the great part about it. Once you're hooked up, which takes a very short period of time, within 5 minutes, the test runs for maybe 5-10 minutes at the most. 5 minutes would probably be all it is. And then after that, here's the readout. So within 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes at the most, you're going to have all this information at your disposal. As a doctor, it's nice to have the test. Here's the report. Let's talk about it within this appointment versus, hey, I think you have all these issues. Let me write these blood tests. Go down the block, get all this blood work, and in 2 months we'll come back and 2 months is a little exaggeration, but I'm making a point. 2 weeks you come back and we'll talk about it. And with that, you're getting, granted, those are blood tests, those are traditional tests that we all as doctors need to have. So I'm not downplaying that, but you're getting this much information. With the other one, you're getting this much information. So it's a wonderful place to start, and we find it works very, very well with our patients. So we're talking about assessments, we're talking about functional assessments, and you're really, at the hub of this is this nervous system of ours, we call it the autonomic nervous system, that functions without us thinking about it. It's our basically stress system. It understands stress. It picks up stress. It basically has to modulate our existence with all the stresses we put on it, whether those stresses are inside or outside, whether they're mental or they're physical, whether they're energetic or whatever, it recognizes that. Now, these new therapies or these new assessment tools are able to tap into that body's innate wisdom of what's going on, what's stressing to that. And that's where these things have just been just getting better and better. Partner in an integrative medical practice that treats the broad range of all medical diseases, from cancer, autoimmune to things of a lesser site. And when patients come to me, sometimes they're in the middle of their treatment, sometimes they're in the beginning of their treatment. When they're in the beginning of treatment, they're searching for answers. They're looking for getting metals out of their mouth, but they have a lot of problems. Many times they've been to 10 to even 20 different doctors trying to find solutions. So I find the Eductor to be an excellent tool to basically run on these patients, to be able to give them an overview of what they're dealing with. The metal problems they're dealing with, the chemical problems they're dealing with, the noxious energy problems they're dealing with, the chronic infection problems they're dealing with, the psychoemotional issues they're dealing with, and other things. It's a simple report that almost to the T helps them become inquisitive and gets on board with the kind of root cause medicine that we think is the way to go. There are certain things we know that we had and we know from our history. And the Eductor always tells you that. So that validates that piece of equipment. Now, you may not know you have Bartonella at this point yet, but what we've found is that if it says you have it, there's a good chance that when you go digging, you're going to find it. And if you start treating it, with most of these things, you have to start treating it to be able to actually have an immune response so that you get a blood test to be able to confirm it in a traditional way. So what the Eductor is able to do is give you a snapshot into what's wrong. From there, your treatment protocols and or your assessment protocols can try to figure out, what to do about it. What about these old time-tested tools that many holistically oriented people have been using. Let's say, for instance, like acupuncture or traditional Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic medicine or even homeopathy, which is 200 or 300 years old and totally understood by conventional medicine, where you take no substance that has been energetically done and it's going to create a response. Well, we see that happening all the time. We saw it happening much more 100 years ago. But now things have changed. We live in a toxic world. We live in a world where our systems are changed because of the toxins we get involved with. And let's just take acupuncture, for instance. Acupuncture is putting needles into autonomic sites and affecting the autonomic nervous system. And it can work wonderful for increasing blood flow into certain areas or calming it down, or other things like that. However, when the wires are toxic, it doesn't want to work. Remember, it's just like an electrical system. You're basically tuning an electrical system. However, when you got toxic wires, it ain't working the way it used to. And that's what most acupuncturists are seeing these days. And I'm saying these days within the last 20, 30 years. It's not working the way it is. So this whole world of homotoxicology has come up. Homotoxicology means man's toxins, and what are you going to do about it? Certainly acupuncture can work, but you need to clean out the system first, and then it starts working the way it used to work because, we have changed because of the environment we live in.